What's going on, everybody? I wanted to talk about the Wizard and my experience with the class change so far because I think it's been my best decision in terms of enjoying this game so far. Let's get into it. All right, so I've actually been playing the game an insane amount since I class changed to Wizard. I really just enjoy the ranged aspect of it. So it's super fun to like being a little basic and move around. I'll show you guys my legendaries so far. I have farmed, again, as I mentioned, a lot. I oftentimes do open world farming, but I've only gotten 2 helmets here, as you can see. We got 1, 2, 3 shoulder pieces, 1, 2 chest pieces. We have 1, 2, 3 pairs of pants, 1, 2, 3, 4 weapons, and then 1 offhand here. And this one was simply from the battle pass. So still really, really low on the legendaries. And more importantly, we're actually just completely missing upgrades. So I've only gotten 1 upgrade. All the other ones are unable to be essence transferred onto, and so I'm really struggling to actually get a build going outside of just testing out the skills themselves. On top of that, my set items are non-existent currently, and I even have a really poor belt right now because of I had a warband item and I ended up salvaging or destroying my other belt. But I rather am really looking forward to getting all these legendary items, and there's a ton of potential here. It's absolutely insane how much fun the builds are. Just to give you an idea here, I'm running currently a really heavy focused Firestorm build. This again is a build that a lot of people have kind of checked out. And some people have mentioned even just not to bother with it, but I actually really like it. I've also tested out a lot of other different builds. I've used Arcane Torment. I've used every single skill here, and I've really enjoyed the Disintegrate Ice Crystal type build with the lasers or even the Ray of Frost. I've tried this one out in PvP. I've also been trying out Lightning Nova. It's one of my favorite skills for open world farming and just running around in general. Really like that one. Ice armor here and slow time actually is something that I really want to test out because I feel like this, a lot of people are sleeping on this. It reduces the attack and movement speed by 80%. This is absolutely insane. Well, at least against players, it'll be about 40%, and projectiles will be slowed down. So attack speed slows in this game actually slow down the animations for people, which means that you're actually reducing the damage that they're dealing as well as their movement speed. And so I think this is a super slept on ability, and I haven't really seen a whole lot of wizards actually use this one. And so I really want to test this out as soon as I start getting some legendary items. And as well as that, I want to try out the ice armor, sort of like jump in, teleport in, and blow someone up to shatter the ice armor, or maybe some sort of teleporting in and blowing up someone, kind of like a bomb. Seems absolutely insane because the shield is absolutely massive. I'll just go ahead and run an Elder Rift here and just showcase the Firestorm build for me here. I really, really enjoy the combos with the Wizard, and overall, it just seems like a very strong class. One thing that I've noticed a ton is the teleport ability is my absolute favorite ability in this game so far. I've played I've played about 5 different classes, quite a bit, and I really have enjoyed the teleport. It's my favorite ability in the entire game, next to Banner. Banner is my second favorite ability in the entire game, so it's been really, really enjoyable. And one other thing that I really enjoy from the Wizard is your skill combos really feel effective. As we see here, if we just look at our skills, right here we can see this deals 50% bonus damage to burning enemies. Both of these burn. And so what happens is you can cast Scorch and then drop this, and you can see that orange number. That's because it's gone ahead and been amplified by that extra burn, or that 50% extra damage from burning enemies. If I go ahead and use it just kind of on these guys regularly, it just has a regular white or gray number versus the orange indicator, which really feels impactful. I think that's one thing that's kind of really different from the Crusader so far, is that Crusader just feels generally impactful, meaning all your skills when you have Banner activated just feel insane. But on this one, it gives you kind of instant feedback when you're timing your abilities properly, specifically in the Firestorm build, and then also when you're running the laser or any other sort of build that has combo potential with the Wizard. you really start to feel it, especially with those types of builds with the Ice Crystal, which I'll show in just a moment. I really have enjoyed all of it. I enjoy the range. I enjoy the variety of builds and the amount of potential I think we actually have for viable builds. For the Crusader, all it was is I felt like you really kind of had to run Banner all the time. There was no other option. You also had to run Horse all the time. And then if you ever wanted to do damage on a single target, you had to run Sinkhole Cross. And then if you're running a group, you could also run the Justice without favor. But other than that, in PvP, it was oftentimes just a full support build. I wasn't actually dealing damage. I didn't really feel a whole lot of impact besides like buffing up my party, which did feel super impactful when I was able to get my party to actually be on my support skills. But this one, I have a much more control over my own personal effectiveness rather than just kind of relying on my teammates. And I generally prefer that in games. But overall, really enjoying the Wizard, and highly suggest that a lot of people try this guy out because I think they're majorly slept on. I will be the first to admit that I even slept on the Wizard quite a bit early on into the game. But ever since about 3 weeks ago, I have been super interested in the Wizard, and since class change I've been really wanting to swap to the Wizard, and I have not regretted it for one moment. And on top of that, I really do feel like the Wizard is perhaps the strongest class in PvP currently, simply for the fact that they have so many tools, so many options. You could be dropping massive shields on yourself, massive CC moves, or just massive damage, and have the best movement ability with the ability to stealth, which I still have not been able to modify because I have not been able to get a solid helmet here and get the Mask of Illusions where I could stealth myself when I teleport. It's just, there's so many options here, and I'm absolutely loving it. And on top of that, I feel like I could actually modify my build in PvE, which we'll go ahead and do right here and showcase one of the other builds that I really have enjoyed running. So this is the other build I've really enjoyed running in PvP, or PvE rather, and this is going to be an Ice Crystal Disintegrate build with Lightning Nova. I actually really enjoy Lightning Nova, and I cannot wait to be able to get that movement speed increase when I go ahead and get an offhand. So that'll be super huge to increase my movement speed. I just really enjoyed the combo of like popping Lightning Nova, teleporting behind someone, and getting full effectiveness of my Lightning Nova. And then the Ice Crystal, of course, the Disintegrate combo, where your laser is just going to go ahead and hit everybody in the area. Just absolutely massive. The range on it is absolutely insane. And that's something that I've really missed after playing the Crusader. And any melee class in this game has kind of felt it. Open world farming, dungeon farming, PvP, all of it's just more complicated because you're a melee class and you kind of have to really focus and pay attention to actually get your basics off. Whereas this one, you can kind of just throw them out there and they'll hit guaranteed. I've also really not kind of experimented too much with Magic Missile here. I've really focused purely on Electrocute. I don't think Magic Missile is a crazy good basic. It's really just a single target basic that's, you know, better against bosses for sure, but Electrocute's just so good in general in PvE content, whereas Magic Missile is purely for those single target encounters, which, you know, you could argue that, well, that's the really only thing you need to worry about in PvE. So I can see both points for Magic Missile versus Electrocute, but I've just really preferred Electrocute because of the potential of hitting everyone in the area. So really enjoying the Wizard, and I'll definitely be coming out with builds, definitely be coming out with PvP gameplay. I really want to see what we could do once we get some black hole modifications and overall just legendary items in general. I am going to be farming Hell 4 and just as soon as I hit Hell 4, I basically can do all my legendary essences because they'll all be upgrades, and so I can finally start doing some really awesome builds. But overall, really enjoying it. Highly suggest everyone out there actually just try out the class change. Even if you don't plan on sticking with it, you can always revert it if it's your first time. And I just think that it's really makes Diablo Immortal a whole different game where you actually feel that you're having a lot of fun, that new game experience all over again, because a lot of us are feeling perhaps a little bit bored with the same open world grind. But if you go ahead and swap classes, the open world grind is actually entertaining. At least I felt it was entertaining. So there you have it. There's my thoughts on Wizard and what I think about the class change so far. Really enjoying it, and I will be planning on doing a lot of stuff with the Wizard for the foreseeable future, the next couple of weeks at least. And hopefully you all will look forward to doing that. If you do, be sure to subscribe, check out that Wizard content, and I will see you for the next video.